about 3 minutes before our next storytelling session, and we have some time for reflections from the audience, please. So we have some mics, if you could just...
I think people are reflecting to wanting to get out.
If we could reflect inside our heads first, and then out loud, that would be fantastic. Everyone, sorry, hello?
Do you want to give some thoughts first?
Yes.
What were your takeaways from those, that session?
I thought it was very interesting to see both Prime Ministers, the consensus on the terms of engagement with Russia. In the interview that President Macron gave to us, he emphasized the role of counterterrorism cooperation as a potential avenue for dialogue and cooperation with Russia. We didn't see very much of that there. We haven't seen very much of that this morning. We've still seen the G7 consensus hold. We have very little time for questions, everyone, so we do want to get to these. So if you could please, if I could see some hands up for reflections from the floor. Excuse me, gentlemen, could you just take your seats, please? Thank you very much. Sorry,
we're just trying to get the audience to engage rather than engaging with each other on the way out. So if you want to leave, obviously head out and have a coffee, but if you'd like to stay, then please
take your conversations to the hallway. We'd appreciate that very much.
So has anyone got any thoughts they want to share at this point in the day? If you want to stick your hand up, we can get a microphone
and on reflections on any part of the day, including the morning, please, not just a session we've had, on anything we've discussed so far.
Is that Robert Fox? Yeah, I think Robert Fox has got a reflection. No,
we'll have a microphone, please.
I do apologise. My name is Robert Fox. I'm even older than NATO. But my wife was liberated by Canadian troops under occupation in the Netherlands, so I do have a small dog in this fight. DEBORAH, SHASHANK, wonderful comparing, but the dog that hasn't barked is what Macron was really driving at. Could the European Defence Union replace, displace, supplement or complement NATO? And that's the question I wanted to ask Mr. Rutte and the Norwegian Prime Minister in particular. I think it's a huge debating point.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
We have a question over there, please. The lady in the scarf.
Hi, I just want to say how brilliant it is. Oh, I'm Gracie Chick from One Life Share It. And I just think it's amazing to have so many young people and young voices here today. It's really encouraging. And just to say, like, what the two prime ministers or the presidents were talking about just then was, you know, about bringing people together, about, you know, like involving everyone in solutions. And I think that's really important. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your thoughts.
I spotted someone over here who I want to hear from, Madeleine.
Thank you, Deborah. Madeleine Moon, President of the NATO Parliamentary Assembly. Europe is changing, and politically it is increasingly diverse. We see that diversion and variety on a daily basis in the Parliamentary Assembly. It most certainly is not brain dead, but it is challenging. So we have new politicians, many of them with no experience in politics, many of them with no experience in defense and security. And we have very experienced people. Is part of the problem with President Macron's view of NATO being brain dead, in fact, that the feedback from assemblies such as ours are not reaching up to the top, where the diversion is different, the diversity is great, and the conversations are great. It's just there's not listening at the top.
Thank you for that. And we have a, very briefly, just over here, please. Lady in the red scarf, just here.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the wonderful event and discussions today. I'm Beatrice Masala from Adelphi, a think tank based in Berlin. I was really interested about 2 points that came out. First of all, the point about inclusion and the strong focus that came very strongly about inclusion of women, but also more generally diversity and within decision-making in different levels in the security sector that traditionally has not been great on inclusion. And second point, recognizing climate change and the impact it's going to have on shaping the security challenges going forward, already today, but going forward even more. And it's great to hear climate change being mentioned mentioned in a meeting on the NATO.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all those interventions. We now have another storytelling session.